Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. And we're going to capitalize on the things that we did last week. So whatever oil that you were using last week, again, lemongrass, tarragon, anise, rosemary, verbena, sage, anise support, no sweat. Let's start with those. Marjoram. Marjoram could be another one. Let's start with those and see if you have one of them. And last week we did a thing where we helped to release negativity into the earth, like things projected at us or maybe stress responses. Now we want to do that even a little bit more so, but things that would be in the lower mind or associated with the past experiences and repetitive thinking. So grab one of those oils. Sounds like we're good there. Okay, so the front throat is tied to the lower mind. So this is us processing our past experiences, right? Things we've memorized, our viewpoints, our opinions, repetitive thinking, just anything that's detail oriented, right? Then we go to the back throat, and this is starting to be more of what you would call your pre-conscious awareness. It's not really in your everyday awareness, but if you try to recall it, this part is actually, you're able to recall it. So it's kind of buried a little bit, but not too far, right? And then below that, there is the subconscious, which is deeper, harder to access. And then eventually the unconscious, which is very difficult to access. So all these, the pre-conscious, the subconscious, the unconscious, all of these are tied to like behaviors and your personality, your motivations, things that cause you anxiety, things that make you panic, your tendency to get triggered. They're all kind of mixed up in this. Old traumas. And so we want to go through and gently release these things without having to go through and relive them. And when we work with these particular oils, you're balancing out your parasympathetic part of your nervous system, which is rest and repair. And when this state is heightened, your ability to let things go is also heightened. So you could say this is just a gentle way of letting go of something, right? So the jaws are tied to pre-conscious, subconscious, and unconscious issues, right? And so like we were talking about last night, for those of you who have joined with us, in the last few years, there's been more issues with jaw-related things. And you'll notice that like all of a sudden your jaws will tighten up, but you're not quite sure why, right? A lot of times it's more like kind of subconscious or unconscious things that are happening that cause the jaw to go into greater levels of tension. And so we're going to do a little experiment with these oils. So let's see how you feel first before we get rolling. You need one? Your awareness is on your throat. You're not thinking about anything in particular. You're just starting to take long, slow, deep breaths. We're just doing a little experiment and exploration. Long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the throat. And then just pause and let go. And again, your awareness is on your throat. And just pause and let go. Move your awareness to your jaws, where they hinge in front of the ears. You're taking some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and let go for a moment. Begin inhaling. Again, your awareness is on the jaws. And then pause and let go. Just pause and let go. Nails up and mm, mm. Now your back throat. Your awareness is on the back throat, which is the middle of the back of your neck. Long, slow, deep breaths. The awareness on the back throat. Just pause and let go. Notice how you feel, right? So let's explore something verbally and then we'll do an experiment. And this is not something that I don't think I've talked about before. Maybe I have, I don't know. I've slept since then, so I couldn't tell you. And it's a joke, but it's not a joke. So the throat is associated with the lower mind. The lower mind is the part of the mind that's a critical mind. It sees details. So it always sees things in pieces. It doesn't really see the big picture. It doesn't see the future. It doesn't see potential. It can't imagine anything. It's just the facts. And it's usually things we've memorized, our past experiences, our memories, things of this nature, like detail-oriented information. right? Viewpoints, opinions, theories, like all this gets really kind of processed by the lower mind, which is the throat, right? Now, the back throat is more your it's pre-conscious awareness. So it's not the things that are necessarily in your mind, but if you put a little attention to it, like if somebody said, what were you doing 3 years ago on June 21st? You'd have to go, and then you could recall it, right? It might take you a moment, but you could recall it, right? So these are things that are not in your normal everyday thinking, but they're just below the surface. You're able to recall it, right? Now, a lot of things that are there could cause us stress. A lot of our instinctive responses are there. Like, you get triggered a little bit, you get stressed out about something, and you're like, I don't even know why. It's because it's in your pre-conscious awareness, not your conscious awareness, right? So the jaws are also tied to this aspect. They're tied to the pre-conscious awareness and even deeper states. It even goes into the subconscious and down into the unconscious. So by kind of working these three, you're working the lower mind, which is your past and your information, your opinions, things of this nature. You're working the jaws, which are pre-conscious, subconscious, unconscious. And then you're going to the back throat, which is pre-conscious, right? So by working those three, you can have a big impact on the mind, especially things that are triggers or something that's upsetting or causes you stress, causes you anxiety. Now, let's take it a little bit further. Let's take it a little bit further. So we talked about how when doing the Lama Yoga breath, or just the inhalation up, exhalation down, that movement of up, moving your head up and moving your head down, it's very activating to the forehead and the back head. And when these two are combined, they break down thought forms that are in our awareness, right? That are in our awareness. Now, we do a thing where we do the materialization breath, where you drop your head down, we inhale an oil, you hold your breath, and then you move your head up and you exhale. So as far as the forehead is concerned, it's the same mechanisms. The difference is we're holding the breath. But if you look at the motion's the same between the Lama Yoga breath and the materialization breath, but with the materialization breath, we're holding our breath. We're doing a throat lock between moving our head up and moving our head down. Now, why are we doing this, right? Now, as you move your head back and forth, you're activating the forehead and the back head, which is bringing light into the situation, right? But also what's doing is when your head is down, you're pinching off the throat and the back throat is opening up, right? Then you're moving your head up, the back throat pinches off and the front throat opens up. So what you're doing is, as you do the materialization breath, you're harmonizing your conscious mind, your lower mind, with that pre-conscious mind. You're increasing the pathway so that you're able to access access information in that pre-conscious awareness, and you can also drive energy into that pre-conscious awareness, right? Now, as you do the throat lock in the materialization breath, where your head is down and you're inhaling, there's bigger expansion of the back throat. And then as you come up and you are exhaling, not as you come up, but as you get all the way to the top, and then you're having a bigger expansion on the front. So part of what you're doing there, like this is a different aspect that we haven't talked about, is you're harmonizing the conscious lower mind with the pre-conscious mind that is just below the surface, right? You're merging the two, right? And so as you go through and you do this aspect where we gone through and have done these things where we're going to go through and release something. But now if we take it a step further and we do the materialization breath, the level of release is significantly greater when we are releasing from the pre-conscious mind. And these things can cause us a little bit of anxiety. They can cause us motivations and behaviors that we're not really aware of until we really thinking about it. And then you're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like you're able to act on those things that are just below the surface to a much greater degree. And so by doing this, it becomes easier to materialize, becomes easier to heal, it becomes easier to have better interactions with the people that you have relationships with, and it increases your connection to the divine if you're focusing on the divine. So there's actual mechanics to this in the mental body, right? So we're going to go through and we're going to do the materialization breath. We're going to do the materialization breath. Not really going to think about anything particular. We're just going to do these mechanics, right? So whatever oil you've been using, you're going to hold to your chest. And again, just to revisit, you're going to bring your bottle to your chest, head down, inhale, hold your breath, up, exhale. Hold your breath, down, up, exhale. Down, inhale, up, exhale. Down, inhale, up, exhale. So every inhalation, exhalation is one breathing cycle. So hold your bottle to your chest. Bottle down, or excuse me, bottle to the chest, head down. Long, slow, deep breath. Hold, head up, exhale. Head down, inhale, up, exhale. 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 Just be still and be aware. Liam Meister. Just be still. Notice your mind. Now, let's take this a little deeper. Again, just hold the bottle up to your nose. Take long, slow, deep breaths. Again, your awareness is on your throat. Long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your throat. Let that go for a moment. Mhm. Your awareness is on your jaws. Start taking long, slow, deep breaths. Mm. Your awareness is on your jaws. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then your back throat. Your awareness is on the back throat. And then just pause and be still. That's it. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Yeah. Now bottle to your chest, chin down, do 8 or 9 of the materialization breath. Just be still. Keep your eyes closed. Just let it incubate. Hmm. Yeah, no. Okay. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is on your throat. Long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the throat. Move your awareness to the jaws. And then your back throat. Awareness is on your back throat. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then just be still. Just let it incubate. Bottle to your chest, chin down, 8 or 9 of the materialization breaths. And then just be still. And you notice it feels very calming, very, very peaceful. It makes your head feel, like, how does it make your head feel?
Way more.
Clearer, throat feels good, throat feels open. This also would be a way to look to release things from the lower mind and the preconscious awareness, but also because of the merging of the two and the oil that we're using and the pattern that we're using, you could say this helps to cause your mind, your lower mind, to be more flexible, like less rigid. And so taking in information, processing information that might be in opposition or opposition of what you think, your opinions, your viewpoints, where you're able to take more in and not just be stuck always in the past. And so this is kind of an add-on, like it's separate from last week, but at the same time, it's in the same circle. Like it's the same kind of little group of things that we can do to help release like stress and conditioning from our bodies. And so we're going to do something a little different next week, but we'll be utilizing the same oils. So yeah, and remember this weekend, free class lymphatic 5. The flyer information's there, but it's free for you guys. And then the following weekend, another free class. So we actually have 3 free classes in a row, like lymphatic 5, the essentials, and then the following class will be on self-acceptance. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight, and we'll hopefully see you on Saturday. Take care.